Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you for being with me again today. I have an update coming from the JPMorgan bank about how the Russian embargo or the sanctions on Russian oil worked and how in trouble Russia is according to JPMorgan. So this article comes from Business Insider and this is the title. JPMorgan says Russia has had a little problem rerouting its oil exports, meaning the expected plunge in production never happened. Russia has been able to reroute its oil exports away from Europe with little fuss, JPMorgan has said. The bank's analysts said they expect Russian production in the third quarter to be higher than a year ago. And the profits as well. Better than expected global production and signs of a drop in demand have pushed oil prices lower. Russia has been able to reroute its oil exports away from Europe without serious disruptions, JPMorgan has said, adding that the expected drop in output never happened. Better than expected, there you have Russian production, along with the release of oil from global strategic reserves of the United States, helps explain the recent drop in crude prices. The bank's head of commodities research, Natasha Kaneva, said in a note to clients, Russia's oil exports to Europe, its biggest market, have fallen relatively sharply in 2022, as companies have self-sanctioned in the wake of Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine in late February. Yeah, self-sanction. However, Russia has been able to shift its exports towards Asia, with India and China in particular stepping up their purchases. More recently, a jump in domestic demand has caused Russian oil production to rise back to the pre-war levels. And I'm quoting, "The market consensus was too pessimistic about Russia's capability to reroute volumes to other buyers," Kaneva and her colleagues said in a note Wednesday. No. It's not the pessimistic. It's the ideology. So these experts, they looked at facts in putting their ideology lens and their, wishful thinking lens, and then they ignored information that did not play in, support their desired outcome of their assessments, and they picked only the ones that fit their narrative. And they say, well, hey, they will be crushed in about 48 hours. Why? Because they ignored this, they ignored this, they ignored this, they ignored that. That would have changed the whole outcome of their assessment. But that's what happens when you have wishful thinking, you're blinded by it, and then you have obviously an ideology. When you have the ideology, and probably there are some little orders here and there that you have to do it because look, if they would have said this, let's say JPMorgan would have said, you know what, if you guys impose sanctions on Russia, it's going to be very, very bad for you guys too. Then probably they would not have imposed. But who's making a profit? So why JPMorgan should not say that? Well, I'm pretty sure they have money invested in the energy companies, right? So, which make a kill right now, and the military, the arms industry. So, why should they not get along with that? No. You can impose sanctions. That's fine. Nothing will happen to us. The Russians will be crushed. Oh, man, my bad. Look what happened. Too pessimistic, I think. And now we're making some profit, man. Making a lot of profit. Well, we made a mistake. Sorry. That's how it goes. So, Russia's exports adjusted towards other buyers without a serious disruption to its production. And I'm quoting, at its peak, the oil market was pricing in the worst case scenario a 3 million barrel a day loss of Russian production combined with record high summer demand, while in reality, it never happened. How can you be so off? It makes you wonder. I mean, those guys are not, children in the 5th grade. These guys are experts, right? So you, as an employer of these experts, Would you listen to them next time? This is about billions of dollars. It's not about 3 pairs of shoes and an ice cream. It's billions of dollars of an error. You know, wink, wink error. JPMorgan expects Russia production to produce 9.95 million barrels a day of oil in the third quarter, above the 9.76 million barrels a day produced in the same quarter a year earlier. What, from 9.95 to 9.75? It's like, hey, I'm going to give you $9.95 instead of 9.76. Oh my God. Sorry. It thinks production will slip to 9.5 million barrels a day in 2023, staying relatively strong despite the European Union's ban on most oil imports from the country. Oil prices have fallen in recent weeks, with global supply stronger than expected and demand likely to weaken in the coming months as the world economy slows. Do you mean go into recession? Slows. WTI crude, the US benchmark price, was down around 10% over the last month to trade at $98 a barrel on Friday. Russia's oil and gas revenues have helped Putin's government prop up the local currency, the ruble, which they thought is going to die in 48 hours. And it died for about a day, and then it, like Phoenix, got back up. The ruble alleviating some of the pressure on the economy. However, the economy is still expected to shrink sharply, regression. This year, imports have created a sign of domestic stress. Yale academics, oh my God, I know George W. Bush was at Yale. So when you say Yale for me, always tainted, done, dirtied. Yale academics, led by Jeffrey Sonnenfeld, said in a study this week that Western sanctions are catastrophically crippling the economy, with domestic production slowing dramatically. All right, if they Yale. And remember, George W. II, right, went to Harvard as well. And I don't have to mention other ones who I never saw anything extraordinary in them, which was another very articulated, that's what the word I was, oh my God, articulated guy, which was former President Obama. That's what I said, it's very articulated. I don't care about how articulate he is. I want to know how deep he is, how much he knows, what kind of balls he's got, you know what I mean? What kind of that, how much geostrategic information he's got. Yeah, articulate. I'm going to make a lot of poems for you today, honey. I'm going to talk to you so suave. Yes, the sunset is going down like no, I can be articulated, blah, blah, blah. And I don't say anything. I don't need an articulated person there. I need a capable person there. As long as we still want to have a country here or anywhere. All right, so I said this without those analysts being so wrong. I mean, you know, against all those predictions that Russia will be nailed in 3 seconds after they impose those. What's going on here? You want to stay there? In the next three days they're going to be destroyed and all that. Nothing happened. I'm not an economist. I don't want to be. I don't pretend I know about it much. But the minimum to know, to figure out when something goes bad, when you smell a rat, you say it's a rat. So I knew from the very beginning the Russians. I have videos over there to support my claim. It was obvious. That's why I'm inclined to think that this thing was just the same as Iraq war and Afghanistan. They were not mistakes. I don't think they were mistakes. They are pushed as mistakes, you know. So you don't point a finger to the guilty ones. Oh my God, there were mistakes, and it was not. I think it was really someone said criminal activity here. I guess some people made some big profits off of that, and a lot of people lost their lives and countries were destroyed. Hey, give me the beer. Yeah, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.